Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Making his way to the cage and fighting out of the red corner, it's Jake Lemacks.
Jake Lemacks, 28 years old, 5'9". He is 1-1 fighting out of the MMA Institute in Richmond, Virginia. Now, this fight literally got put together on a week's notice because the original guy that was supposed to take this fight, Mike Phillip, he fell out, he got sick and couldn't take the fight. And at the same time, Jake also had a fight coming up in a couple of days, which also fell out. So luckily for him, we was able to get him into this matchup, and he was able to stay relatively busy with just a couple of days difference. Now, Jake has been doing martial arts since he was 6, but he focused directly on MMA since it was at the age of 13. So that's 15 years that he's been spent dedicated into focusing directly on MMA. He's a BJJ brown belt, and he's a big holistic training type of guy. You know, he's real big into yoga. He was the captain of his high school wrestling team, so that definitely means he was good. I'm not sure he wrestled more after high school, but a BJJ brown belt with wrestling experience, that means major. And right now he's 1-1 as a pro. He's looking to find that second pro win here in CageZilla. Now also 5'9" as a flyweight. That's not a lot of, you don't see a lot of longer reaching flyweights, kind of like the Corey Sandhagen build, but even he's a bantamweight, so he's very long and lanky. You know, those are the type of guys, it's very hard to fight them because they could hit you from about a mile away. But he looks very composed at the age of 28, just getting your MMA career started as a pro. I think this guy got something.
And his opponent, making his way to the cage and fighting out of the blue corner, it's Qataada Nubani.
Qataada Nubani, 5'8", 28, fighting out of Kaizen MMA. You know, we don't have to say much. You know, all the Kaizen guys always show how big, whether they're fighting pro or amateur. They have a very solid stable of guys over there, solid stable of professionals and a solid stable of amateurs. And it doesn't matter which CageZilla event you show up to, they're going to have at least 1 or 2 Kaizen guys fighting on the card. Now, he did lose his pro debut, so he's 0-1 right now, and he's looking to get his first win. But he's been training MMA for the past 6 years. He's also another fellow high school wrestler, and right now he's just trying to get his base settled. I always have a lot of respect for guys that start off their careers not necessarily on the best foot, but they're able to stay the path. There's so many guys now that I'm in the UFC that I meet along the way. It's like, oh, I remember you. And it's literally just the guys that stayed the path, the guys that never stopped. Because no matter what, these losses aren't permanent until you stop trying. These losses are learning lessons, and as long as you make the adjustments, which we hoping that he's done, you can always build off of that later. I'm going to toss it back down to you, Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the CageZilla Pro Flyweight division. It is sanctioned by the DPOR and brought to you by our friends at Freedom Bail Bonds of Fairfax, Virginia. Everybody loves freedom. And Tobaccoology, fine cigars and tobacco run by fine people with locations in Manassas and Haymarket. And now, starting out, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5'9" and weighing in at 126 pounds, fighting out of the MMA Institute, it's Jake 6 Pass Lemacks. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5'8" and weighing in at 125 pounds, fighting out of Kaizen MMA, it's Q Nubani. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the CageZilla Pro Flyweight division. It is brought to you by Freedom Bail Bonds and Tobaccoology. And here is referee Angel Ortiz with the fighter instructions.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules earlier today. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. This is the main event. Fight clean, fight hard. Touch gloves, go back to your neutral corners, get ready to come out fighting.
All right, here we are at our main event, Jake versus Q. 3 5-minute rounds. Q is looking to get his first win, while Jake is looking to improve to 2-1. Both fighters meet in the middle, and just like the same thing we've been having the whole night, meet in the middle and we start throwing. Oh, that was a solid elbow from Q right there. It was almost like a Superman elbow. You don't see that often. Straight from Ong Bak. Now, I don't like Jake keeping his chin up. Yeah, see, every time I've called that this night, if these guys are keeping their chin in the air, that's how people go to sleep. Good level change, though, instinctively while he's hurt. But I like the fact that he's changing levels and clinching up just to get the cobwebs out of your head, get that buzzing feeling done until you've recovered. But the reason why he got caught is because he was kind of holding his chin relatively. He's still holding his chin relatively high. You gotta tuck your chin when you're in these striking exchanges, especially when you guys are just swinging hook for hook. And you can tell his balance is still a little bit off. He doesn't fully have his equilibrium set. And if I'm Q right now, Q needs to relax a little bit and pick his shots better. I don't think Jake is gonna be able to fix the chin problem in the middle of the fight, unless if he could get back in the corner and his coach addresses it. But Jake is swinging with chin straight up in the air. Q just needs to relax and find those right combinations again.
So sorry there, Sadiq. I had a couple technical difficulties to clear up, but now I'm with you. Happy to be calling this fight with you.
Yeah, I was saying before, Jake has his chin a little bit way too high. That's why every time he gets caught, he's getting wobbled. You know, the brain is shaking too much. You gotta tuck your chin when you're in there.
So we've seen a lot of Q.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, this is gonna be finished.
Yeah,
this is gonna be finished standing. Yeah, he's almost out of there. Jake is almost out of there. And he's fighting. Oh, he finished him. That was awesome. That was a great performance.
Well, I got to call about 30 seconds of that fight with you, Sadiq.
Yeah, great performance by Q.
You know what? I was surprised actually to see a 0-1 record for him in pros. I'm really glad he got that that well-deserved win there because he was a dominant amateur.
Yes, and I don't know what's going on in the crowd, but Q just flipped off somebody in the crowd. I guess he had some haters back there or something, but that was a very good performance by him. Absolutely. And all I saw from there was just Jake was a little bit too loose with his chin. You know, he didn't keep his chin tucked in those combinations. If you're that tall, you gotta hide behind something. Yeah, if it's not gonna be your hands, then it has to be your chin. Your shoulders.
And once he got stunned, his hands were in his pockets. He had no defense. So
After you've been rocked, then your defense is not gonna get better. It's only gonna get worse.
You're right.
It's only gonna get worse.
If it didn't start that great to begin with, getting rocked is surely not gonna help it.
Yes.
So hey, Sadiq, a pleasure as always, man.
Same here. Another great night of CageZilla.
I'm just always so proud to share the broadcast with you, man, and hope to see you back here for the next one, man.
I will. I'll be here.
All right, I'm going to go in here and announce this winner.
And I like it. Both guys are embracing right now, showing each other respect. You know, when Jake goes back and watches this fight, you'll see that's something he definitely needs to address because he's kind of like a guy with a long neck, you know. And you see in these combinations, it's so hard for him. He's not tucking his chin, and this is kind of like close to the end already. Is what usually starts off the combination that's a problem. If you're this tall and you have such a long neck in a weight class, either fight behind your hands, high guard, fight behind your elbows or your forearms, or bring your chin down and fight behind your shoulders. But great performance by Q, man. That was good. The first time he rocked him, he was a little bit overzealous. But the second time, he made sure he was a little bit more patient with his strikes, and he was able to find home for those hooks. What a good way to end up in the win column. I'm gonna toss it down to Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Angel Ortiz has called a stop to the action just 1 minute and 48 seconds into the very first round. For your winner, by TKO, out of the blue corner, it's Q Nubani.
Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Get up, first shot, hip strut walking, a little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious, somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Glad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on.
Q, that was amazing. You unleashed the fury. How we feel right now?
I feel amazing. All that hard work, feel good. You know, I never think about going 3 rounds, and I'm glad it wasn't. It lasted 3 rounds.
I love the brutal honesty. Well, you have been a decorated amateur fighter for CageZilla, former bantamweight champion.
Yeah.
And how did you prepare differently for this pro fight versus your pro debut?
Nothing. We train pros since we're amateurs. That's what good people do. You train 5 minutes, you get in here, you fight 3 minutes. It doesn't matter. We don't train differently amateur pro. You train for the whole 5 or 9 yards. That's it.
Amen. Hey, I like it. I like it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Hey, free Palestine.
I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me.
Like and subscribe to CageZilla.